The blackmailer sent my wife photos of me with another woman, except the woman was my sister. Pay $50,000 or these go to your employer, your church, and every contact in your phone. The photos showed me hugging a woman outside a hotel, holding hands in a restaurant, walking arm in arm down a street. My sister Rachel, visiting from Seattle, staying at a hotel because our guest room was being renovated. But the photos looked damning, cropped carefully, angles selected to suggest intimacy, a narrative constructed from innocent moments. Someone's trying to extort us, I told my wife. That's Rachel in those pictures. She believed me. We'd been married 23 years. She knew what betrayal looked like. These photos weren't it. But the blackmailer didn't know that. Didn't know I had a sister. Didn't know the affair they'd documented was family. I decided to find out who was watching me closely enough to photograph my daily life. The images spanned 3 weeks, different locations, various times of day. Someone had been following me extensively. I hired a private investigator to examine the photos' metadata, found they'd been taken with a high-end telephoto lens. Professional equipment, patient surveillance. This isn't amateur work, the PI said. Someone invested significant time and money into building this case against you. I made a list of enemies, business competitors, people I'd testified against in court, anyone with grudges. The list was shorter than I expected. I'd lived a quiet life, accountant, family man, church volunteer, nothing that inspired obsessive revenge. Then my wife remembered something. What about Dennis, from the HOA dispute? Dennis Crawford. 3 years ago, I'd reported him for embezzling HOA funds. He'd been convicted, served 18 months. He'd been released 4 months ago. I researched Dennis's post-prison activities, found he'd started a private investigation business. No clients, no income, just a cover for surveillance equipment purchases. He'd spent his prison time planning revenge. I set a trap, told Rachel to visit again. Same hotel, same restaurants. Let Dennis photograph more evidence of my affair. Then I had my PI photograph Dennis photographing me. We documented everything. His car, his camera, his patterns of following me, his presence at every location where affair photos had been taken. I brought it to the police. This man is stalking and extorting me as revenge for reporting his embezzlement. They arrested Dennis at his apartment, found a wall covered with photos of me, my wife, my children, my daily routines. Not just surveillance, obsession. You destroyed my life, Dennis told investigators. I lost everything because of his report. My wife, my house, my reputation. He deserved to feel that pain. So you manufactured evidence of an affair? His marriage was supposed to collapse. His church was supposed to reject him. Everyone was supposed to see him as a fraud. The woman in the photos is his sister. Dennis's face went blank. What? Rachel Chen, his sister, visiting from Seattle. You photographed a man spending time with his sibling. The color drained from Dennis's face. You spent months building a blackmail scheme around photos of a brother and sister having dinner. Dennis didn't respond. The magnitude of his miscalculation had finally registered. He received 5 years for stalking, extortion, and harassment, added to parole violation. No chance of early release. Rachel found the situation darkly hilarious once the threat passed. He thought I was your mistress. I'm 12 years older than you, and we have the same nose. He saw what he wanted to see. He saw what his hate showed him. She wasn't wrong. Dennis had spent so long planning revenge that he'd stopped actually seeing me. I became a target instead of a person. Any woman became evidence of guilt. My wife increased our home security anyway. Cameras, better locks, awareness of who might be watching. Not because of Dennis specifically. Because we'd learned how easily observation becomes obsession. The HOA sent me a thank you card after Dennis's second arrest. Said they were grateful I'd reported him originally. Said they were sorry I'd suffered consequences for doing the right thing. I appreciated the gesture. Didn't fully accept it. Doing the right thing shouldn't require suffering, but sometimes it does. A victim advocacy organization requested an interview about stalking and extortion. What would you tell others being blackmailed? I held up Dennis's surveillance photos next to a family portrait, including Rachel. Blackmailers count on shame, on secrets, on the fear of explanation. I set the photos down. I had nothing to hide. The photos looked bad but showed nothing wrong. Anyone being extorted should remember that context matters. The truth matters, and sometimes the blackmailer doesn't even know what they're looking at.